One of the biggest problems that The Division has had since it came out is, of course, its issues with cheaters, bugs, and exploits. And apparently Ubisoft are making good to finally punish cheaters. Now, these particular people will be receiving what Ubisoft are calling the, quote, biggest wave of suspensions and bans to date. Now, they have, of course, inferred to this in the past when they have been talking about cracking down on people using exploits and cheats and whatnot. And now we finally get a little look-see in what Ubisoft actually have planned, as a post was made on the Division blog, and Ubisoft said that they will be, quote, handing out the biggest wave of suspensions and bans to date over the next course of the few days. Now, this is for people using cheat engines, and they have new cheat detection methods that have already resulted in more cheaters being caught, quote, in the last few days than we had in total during the previous weeks. So what happens if a cheater gets spotted? Well, the cheat engine will net you a 14-day suspension rather than a 3-day suspension for their first offence. If you continue to use the cheat engine and get caught again, you will be looking at a permanent ban. Now, if you're wondering about, well, what about the people just using exploits, Ubisoft has said this, quote, identifying and fixing bugs before releasing new content is one of the most important parts of game development. Unfortunately, we cannot simulate the experience that millions of different players will have and how they will play the game. As a result, some bugs may make it through testing and may be present when an update is deployed. In the event that a bug makes it into the game and this bug can be used by players to gain an advantage, we need to be able to react and fix it, but also dissuade players from exploiting this bug until it's fixed. This is why moving forward we will adopt a stronger stance against players abusing exploits. Basically, their approach is going to be to give you, quote, clearer and more concrete visibility. Say, for example, if a bug is officially considered to be an exploit, they will be listed in public forums and Ubisoft's, quote, various communication platforms. So basically, if there's a bug and it's considered an exploit because it gives you an advantage in whatever way, they'll post it publicly somewhere, and this is apparently enough of a warning for you to be like, hey, you shouldn't do this thing because you shouldn't be doing it because it's an exploit, and yada yada yada. So basically, after they put the warning out, if you use it, you're going to face consequences, even though you could have easily have missed that warning, but hey-ho, they should probably put it within the game to make it a lot harder to miss, and they might be doing just that, to be fair. Now, the consequences of using exploits haven't actually been detailed, but apparently if you are a repeat offender, the punishments will, quote, vary depending on the severity of the abuse as well as the history of the player. Possible sanctions include character rollbacks, account suspensions, and permanent bans. However, if you're a little bit worried about maybe just randomly running into a bug and, you know, using an exploit without even realising it or what have you, Ubisoft did say, quote, those who encounter bugs during the normal course of play have absolutely nothing to worry about. So in theory, if you just happen to stumble upon this bug that perhaps they haven't found yet or whatever, you're not going to be penalised for that, which is fair. But how are they going to know versus someone seeing it publicised, hey, this is an exploit on this thing, going to find it and then doing it anyway, or someone who just stumbles upon it? I don't know, but apparently they can. Now, to be honest, the damage done by the amount of exploits, bugs, glitches, and just general problems of The Division, especially on PC, has probably already been done. There's probably a lot of people who have jumped ship to the next big thing. There are plenty of big games already out and, of course, coming out in the next couple of months, so I've got a feeling that The Division has definitely bled quite a few people over these issues, but at least they're fixing them for the people who do still remain. But it's a shame that it had to go on this long for them to be fixed. Of course, the game did come out quite some time ago, but you know, they're fixing it. It's just a bit late, I feel, and the damage has kind of been done, but hopefully The Division can spring back from it. So, I'd love to hear some thoughts from anyone who has been playing The Division, has experienced any problems with the PC version, or just glitches and cheaters and whatever in general. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.